Hey, good evening, everyone. Thank you for dialing in tonight's PEOPLElogy, the upcoming IPO. Indeed, I think today is probably a good day. You can see our KLCI has breached 1,005 level today, and market sentiment has improved a fair bit as well. This is PEOPLElogy Berhad, the first human capital development to be listed on Bursa. If you look back at some of the few first to be listed on Bursa, we got your Papa Rich, the pawnbroking fund price. Those have done very well as well because they are the first to be listed. So a lot of rigorous approval processes and also validation before they get listed. Okay, without much further ado, let me introduce to you. We have here Mr. Alan Lee, the MD. Then you got Kelly, the CEO, Joey, COO, and then also Peter, the head of finance. Without much further ado, I'll pass it over to Alan and also to have a look at the corporate video before the presentation starts. Over to you, Alan.
All right. Thank you, Vincent. Hi, everybody here. This is Alan, MD of PEOPLElogy Bhd here. Allow me to play the corporate video to everybody.
By 2030, the gap between digitally prepared and unprepared individuals will become more extreme. The rise of artificial intelligence could displace up to 800 million jobs globally. And by 2040, 63 million jobs could disappear across major APAC economies. The question is, not if it will happen, but will you remain safe in an AI-dominated job market? Transformation is what we need in how we work, how we learn, and how we grow. In a world reshaped by intelligent machines, one element remains more powerful than ever: the people. That's where PEOPLElogy Group leads. We empower individuals and organizations to thrive in a digitally evolving world by discover your soul, assessing talents' interests, passions, skills, and job readiness for holistic individual potential. Design your goal, creating personalized pathways to achieve targeted career goals. Develop your skill, providing comprehensive training support for well-rounded professional development. Deploy your talents, facilitating seamless talent and career empowerment, and building a future-ready digital workforce community. Digitize with Skillsture, implementing a sturdy learning management system with progressive pathways. And digitalize with PeopleLeaps, establishing a comprehensive system for a seamless transition into a fully digitalized environment. Our framework is designed to guide talents towards career advancement through comprehensive structure approaches that align with interest to promote career and organization growth. The future of work is digital. The future of growth is people. And the future of your workforce begins here. As of 2025, we've achieved remarkable success. We secured 26 prestigious awards. We transformed over 250,000 talents. We guided countless individuals toward lucrative career prospects. We built a strong network of 1,500 clients, and we collaborated with 10 tech partners across Southeast Asia. 24 years of dedication, innovation, and transformation have defined our journey. Our team has now grown to over 100 individuals, each sharing the same commitment to impact 10 million lives through digital empowerment. Let's join hands together to digitally transform your workforce.
Ladies and gentlemen, according to McKinsey Global Institute, in 2030, approximately about 800 million jobs will be replaced by automation here. So the question that everybody asks is, my current job safe or not? Right? Okay. That's why PEOPLElogy see the needs of actually educate the individual and the organization to equip themselves with the skill and actually knowledge. So in a simple term, we are actually a people development solution provider. We aim to become one of the biggest in Southeast Asia here that aim to reshape the way how we work how we actually learn and how we actually grow in the future here. All right. And a little bit information about PEOPLElogy here. Our mission is actually to impact 10 million lives through digital workforce transformation. All right. And of course, we are very proud of our actually framework, which we call it our 6D framework here. Consists of discovery, design, develop, deploy, digitize, and digitalize here. So in a way, people always call us that we are like a medical center. So we have someone that discover your soul. We want to understand about your ability to actually perform. Once we know that, we will actually help you to design your goal. Then after that, we will develop your skill. We will deploy you to the workforce here, and then we will digitize you with all the e-content, and we will digitalize you with all the data analytics here. All right. And this is actually our framework. Ultimately, it's this 60 that is going to work on the digital workforce transformation. So we're always very proud to tell people that we are actually an ecosystem that actually can help people transform into the digital workforce, right? A little bit statistic about PEOPLElogy here. Currently, we are in 4 locations. Okay, let me just put on the pointer form so that it's easy for me to actually guide everybody here. So, okay, sorry. All right. So there's currently 4 training centers. We are currently in Kuala Lumpur, Petaling Jaya, Penang, as well as Johor. We are in the business for 24 years already. Throughout this actually 24 years, we won about 26 outstanding business awards that's related to HR, related to training, related to SME here. Currently, we stand at about 103 of us in the whole organization. For the past 20 years, we have served 1,500 what they call corporate client, and we have actually trained up to 250,000 participants, right? And a little bit business overview here. And of course, like just I mentioned that we got this 60. This 60 fall under 3 different segments. The first segment is discovery. Discovery, in a simple term, we call ourselves a consulting and profiling assessment company here. And development is a lot more about training, events, and actually like project management. And thirdly is actually our digital segment, which we focuses on actually 2 mobile application. And the mobile application money income generation is from subscription fees and video production fees. Our sales channel, B2B, B2B2C, B2G, and of course, this is actually our revenue of what they call percentage, all right? And outlook, I'm sure, ladies and gentlemen, you probably want to ask me how big is your market, how potential is the market here. And again, we serve 3 different markets, B2G, business to government, business to business, business to consumer. This is a statistics to show that currently, the government is working very closely with the private sectors on the training. And you can look at the latest statistic, about 16 billion that they invest in actually training and development here, upskilling and reskilling. Out of that, 2 billion is actually focuses on IR 4.0, or now we call it the digital plus AI here. And subsequently, this is actually another body that actually govern the private sectors in terms of the training, which we call it HRD Corp here. And the latest statistic from there, actually there's about 2.3 billion that's actually reserved for training. And and HRD also allocated 3 billions to actually reward those that in the B2B market here. And subsequently, of course, the biggest market that we intend to actually go into is also the B2C, because the whole world is changing. The whole world is actually transforming into AI here. So we would love to actually work on this group of people. And this group of people, they are actually about 23.61 million workforce here. All right. And another statistic is a lot more about Indonesia and Philippines, because one of the main reasons we are doing fundraising is actually to enable us to go into Indonesia and Philippines. Based on the statistic, you can see that there's actually a huge opportunity into Indonesian market and Philippine market, and we do intend to actually expand our presence into Indonesia and Philippines in the next 24 months. All right. So, of course, ladies and gentlemen, many of you would ask why I need to raise 26.25 million here. There's actually a couple of reasons, but of course, the major reason is actually on this first segment. It's called development, which we require approximately about 9.5 million to actually build our cyber security, cyber range computer laboratory. Later, I'm going to play, ladies and gentlemen, a video to tell you what is this actually simulations lab here. And another 500,000 for Sabah, 500,000 to Sarawak. If we actually invested on this, I think we are probably one of the largest training outfit in actually in Malaysia. Secondly, of course, we intend to strengthen our digital platform, which I believe these are the future that enable us to touch 10 million people here. And our investment is about 3 million. You can look at that, about 1 million for PEOPLElogy, 1 million for Future. Another 1 million is actually our internal ERP here. International is like what I mentioned, 1.5 million, 1.45 million for Indonesia, 1.45 for Philippines, and we're going to have our actually regional office in Singapore. So beside these three, of course, one of the significant objective for us to raise this fund is actually to venture into more collaboration. We believe the future is about collaboration. We believe the future is actually about partnership here. We have done an M&A a year ago, and the M&A target, we actually acquired about 30%. In less than 1 year, we actually got back our ROI already. And we strongly believe that with the allocation of 4 million, we are able to actually do better, return on investment. And beside these four, discovery, development, digital, and international here, that's where another other expenses is actually the OPEX. We are looking at just minimum of 2.4 million as our cash flow, operating expenses, and IPO fees about 4.36 million here. All right. Again, like I mentioned just now, one of the major reasons is actually to venture into this cyber range computer simulation lab. According to our Prime Minister, if you look at the statistic here, by 2025, we require about 25,000 cybersecurity experts. But at this moment, we only actually have about 13,000 qualified professionals. So we see this as a very good opportunity, and it's a big market for us to venture. And we would like to take this opportunity to grab this opportunity by establishing one of the state-of-the-art computer laboratory labs here. Let me just share with you this video.
Bridgewater State University will open a state-of-the-art facility to help raise our defenses.
It will train students to be on the front line fighting these attacks.
Cybercrime can happen to anyone.
Everything around us nowadays is digital, so protecting these digital assets is really important.
Welcome to the BSU Cyber Range.
The cyber range is a total game changer.
We have this training ground where we have simulated attacks. So it's no longer stuff you learn about in the classroom or just hear people talking about. Now you're actually experiencing.
We can have 24 people working in the room, and we can have people working simultaneously anywhere in the world.
I think hands-on experience is the most important thing. Just reading books or looking up online isn't enough.
We have the ability to change the lighting. We can go from green to red so that they can feel what it's like to respond under real stress during a cyber attack.
No other university is taking the lead in cybersecurity like BSU.
We even have the ability to shake our desks, to give a sense of urgency.
And if you have the right talent, the right cybersecurity education, come to BSU, we can get you out of this program and have you earning six-figure salaries right out of college.
When people think of cybersecurity, they're going to think of BSU.
Hi, from the video itself, you can see that this computer lab is very, very different from the normal computer lab that most of the training company have. If you look at the video, you can see that there's green color, there's actually red color, there's also a blue color here. And I'm sure there are probably some gamer here. Now I can understand why the keyboard here come with colorful, what I call keyboard here, because the biggest challenge of nowadays, the younger generation, they want is actually engagement. All right. So with this laboratory, we believe that we can actually get a lot of engagement, and the whole world, they're coming here to hack together on this simulation lab here. All right. And of course, just now I mentioned about our lab. Second thing is actually about regional expansion. So in the future, we intend to go into KK, Kuching, and of course, we would like to set up a regional company in actually what they call Singapore. And with that, actually, we're going to actually venture into Indonesia and Philippines. So the investment on this is actually about 3 million here. And the third one is, of course, our digital segment. Our digital segment, which we actually leverage a lot of AI element here. All right. Like I mentioned, the third reason why we intend to raise the 26.25 million is actually for this digital segment, which I think we are very excited about this digital segment because it comes with the AI element here. We have our app called PEOPLElogy, and we have our app called Skillture here. All right. And last but not least, like I mentioned, these are the questions that most of the investors, whether it's institutional investor or retailer investors, they will always ask, Alan, how strong are you in terms of your M&A? How strong are you in your collaboration here? For us, I think we are pretty confident that with this 6D framework here, so we can actually clone our services in everywhere, regardless whether it's in Malaysia or whether it's actually in Southeast Asia here, right? Financial overview. This information, I think it make what they call available to everybody here through our prospectus here. There's actually 3 indicators that I probably wanted to actually highlight to everybody. Of course, first thing first is actually our revenue. From year to year, we actually increase our revenue approximately about 21% here. All right. Number 2 is actually our profit after tax here. And profit after tax, I'm sure you can see that on average is about 20% here. Slightly deep down to 18% because based on here, by right, if we actually discounted all the one-off expenses here, we should be able to do about 6.12 million. So as average here is still around 20% here. And if you look at our actually gearing, our gearing is extremely low, 0.02 here, right? And this chart is to inform everybody that how do we grow our market. Of course, starting from 2021, we rely on the B2G as well as actually the B2B here. Along the year, until this 24 month here, we have actually branched out to actually serve another bigger piece, which is actually the B2C market here. And this is one of our diversification strategy, which we are going to actually implement it for the next 2 to 3 years as well, right? I'm sure many of you will actually ask, what are our biggest expenses here? Our biggest expenses is actually our staff cost and also our cost of sales, our training costs, right? Book order, at this moment here, we have approximately about 9.0 million here, and 8.2 million will be actually billed in 2025, and there'll be a close to about 1 million will be actually in 2026, right? And at this junction here, we also have submitted a tender close to about 45 millions. IPO overview, all right, and of course, I'm sure ladies and gentlemen know that we are diluting approximately about 25.0 million here, at 25%, and which consists of 105 million new share here. And of course, MITI being the biggest chunk is actually 12.5% here. Subsequently, it's actually the selected investor, public, Malaysian public, and also eligible person, such as like all my staff here, right? This is actually the structure before the IPO, and this is actually the structure after the IPO. there'll be 25.02 will be actually spread out throughout the public year, and it's going to hold the PEOPLElogy Berhad. PEOPLElogy Berhad hold directly actually PEOPLElogy Discovery, PEOPLElogy Development, PEOPLElogy Digital, and PEOPLElogy International. Okay, and at this junction, PEOPLElogy Discovery hold a 30% of fish camp learning here. All right, and as for PEOPLElogy Development, we hold 100% of all our subsidy. Of course, I think it's a very quick introduction about PEOPLElogy here. Let us have more what I call engagement through the Q&A. But before I wrap it up, maybe I just want to share with you what is the takeaway. What are the main reason why all the investors should actually invest in PEOPLElogy here? Of course, number one, which is actually the most important one, is currently government is actively looking into digital talent, and government is actually is in the process to make our country a digital nation country here. So government is actually investing a lot of money into this area. And of course, one of the reasons why PEOPLElogy stand up among all our industry player here, because we have our this 60 development framework, which we can scale it anytime, anywhere. And of course, we also work with 10 technology partners, Microsoft, what they call Cisco, Amazon, actually AWS, and a lot of other technology player. And last but not least, of course, is our key senior management here. Later, of course, I'm in this industry for about 24 years. My CEO and my COO also with us for about 16 years. And our head of actually finance is also close to about 6 years with us. And one of the things that we are very proud that about PEOPLElogy is, of course, we won quite a lot of awards. All this award is related to 3 different segments. One is actually the SME. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you know what is Star Outstanding Business Award, last year I was very, very honored that been awarded as the Elite Entrepreneur of the Year of SOBA, and I also won the SOBA Male Entrepreneur of the Year. And the company also won the Best Innovation Company of the Year. And of course, this award is actually what I call, we got it from HRD Corp. It's actually a learning innovation. These 2 awards is actually from PCOM, Persatuan ICT here, which they actually award us with the what I call Best Training Provider Company here. And whomever that is actually in HR, I think these 2 awards looks very familiar to you. It's actually the HR Excellence Award and HR Vendor of the Year. And we don't just only win the award, but we won the HR Leader of the Year and actually what I call Leader of the HR Vendor as well, right? So throughout our years, we have actually won 26 what I call significant award here. And again, like I mentioned, these are actually our board director and also KSM. All right, myself is here. All right. And I'm actually the managing directors. Kelly is my CEO that is actually with us for about 16 years. And of course, Joey also with us for 16 years. And Peter is actually with us for actually 6 years already. And I have K. Raman. K. Raman is actually our independent non-executive director. K. Raman used to work for Microsoft as a managing director of Malaysia. He is also the what I call regional managing director of Oracle. As for Nolida always very passionate about HR. So she was the CHRO of Celcom Axiata. She was also the what I call CHRO for Citibank HSBC, right? And of course, I got Datuk Seri Gary Chua, which is actually a prominent business person and very well-known entrepreneurs in the what I call Chinese community. And then we have Dato' Lee. Dato' Lee actually, he himself is actually a practitioner in the accounting firm, right? I think with that, I am just going to end this session by thank you so much for joining us for this what I call briefing here. I probably will just pass it back to Vincent, and then maybe we can actually start more engaging with the M&A session.
All right, thank you, Alan, for the wonderful presentation. I think those were attended also, I think, a bit worried whether they will lose our job or not, impacted by this AI. Okay, without much further ado, let's run through some of the questions that we have for the night. I think, okay, as usual, the question about dividend payment. Do you have any dividend policy? I think we always get these questions. Yeah. Would you like to answer that? Okay, does the pre-listing dividend payout, how much average per share payout amount after listing dividend policies? I think from the question is,
Company,
basically, I think probably they were asking about your dividend policy, in the sense that, yeah.
company from less than 10 years. Less than 10 years, does pre-listing dividend payout much average per share? Okay. So, what you can say? All right.
Okay, the pre-listing dividend is approximately 60% of the then if for the dividend payout policy post-listing, currently the group does not set any fixed dividend policy post-listing.
Let us just monitor on the first year and second year, as this is actually a new journey for us here. I think we have to plan ourselves better, and so that we can actually probably announce our policy in after the first year, right? Okay. Then let me go to the second question. Does it have exclusive partnership with the certified body Microsoft, Cisco, that great barrier of entry? We are very fortunate that actually we are able to work with Microsoft for at least 8 years already. All right. And Cisco PMI is actually with us for a couple of years. Okay. So far, I think we've been doing good with them. I do not foresee that there's any actually barrier for entries. All right. And how scalable is PEOPLElogy proprietary LMS and digital? Great. This is actually a very great question here. Don't look at us as a LMS company here. We are not a LMS company. But for us, we have our 60 framework here. Since someone talked about LMS here, probably you have known about LMS. We don't sell LMS, but we are actually an AI curated learning platform. It also means that everything that we do here is actually a lot more about AI, and we tied up with actually their job opportunity. All right. So it's a lot more about career coaching. It's a lot more about actually advising them how to choose the right pathway. That's why we call it skill of the future here. All right. And we have actually worked with one of the our associate, which we acquire about 30%. They are very strong in actually the consulting, but after we acquire them, we in fact we scale them from training, we scale them from our technology. So we are pretty much what I call confident that we are able to scale very fast. In fact, for Southeast Asia market, I personally has actually visited many companies for the past 2 years here. And when I show them our 60 framework, immediately they actually created their interest, because most of the company that I've actually visited, they are either training or they are either consulting, but they have never seen one company that actually got consulting, training, and our learning technology as well. So with that, I think we are pretty confident that we are able to scale. Okay, what is the breakdown of revenue segment? Can someone just help me on this? Maybe let me just actually continue with this. All right. Okay. Training in our perspective, we put it into our development segment. The development segment is approximately about 90%. HR tech is actually on our technology segment here. So the technology segment is approximately about 0.5% only. Reason being because I think technology is our business model is actually subscription. Okay, it's not like training you pay one off, and then subscription model is actually every month you have to pay 10 bucks only, 10 ringgit. So that's why we will only foresee that our actually in this statement, you call it HR Tech for Force, we call it AI curated learning platform here. We are able to see profit in 2026. Okay, and certification is the same thing as training. And then the higher growth at this moment, the highest growth potential is still on our development segment. 2026, we will see that digital will actually move out together with the what they call discovery segment, right? The next question is about what are the competitive advantage compared to other people development solution industry. YYC, okay, I think YYC, Tatin also came over to our prospectus launching. Maybe YYC is a lot more about SME, but for us, we are very targeting on the multinational company, public listed company. And we don't just focus on personal development. We actually focus a lot more about corporate development. Our advantage is actually our 60 here, right? Coursera is e-learning, so we are not an e-learning, all right? How effective is the 60 development in driving client retention and repeat customers? If I have to actually tell you that it's very effective, we have actually got almost 90% retention rate, all right? What percentage of revenue that we invest in R&D in technology is actually 3 million that we are looking at out of the 26 million, all right? How dependent is client onboarding on one person's sales versus scalable online acquisition? Okay, if I got it right, that means maybe this question is referring to how much sales we got it from our corporate key account, or how much sales is coming from the what I call e-commerce or online digital platform, I suppose. And at this junction, the most effective one is still the person sales, right? And the good thing here is we do have a lot of repeat client, and why they keep on coming back to us is because they believe in our branding, right? Online acquisition, for us, we term it our online presence of actually boosting our brandings, right? How has customer and participant numbers grow historically? And what are your projection moving forward? Well, to answer this question here, maybe I should get Kelly to come and answer this.
Okay, I'll take these questions. For our projection and also on participants as well as customer, we could actually see on the outlook based on the declaration. Participant is actually increasing for 2021 to 2024 at a range of 10 to 15,000 of participants that we have served. However, we do not have any projection that we are actually putting on for 2025 onwards. So on the presentation that you see earlier, Mr. Allen has made, right? The outlook of the demand is high. Therefore, that is where we are confident with where we are going into the industry. And I leave it to the performance of the business to review the growth of our participants here.
Maybe the next question is actually a lot more about Yayasan Penaju. Kelly, do you want to?
Okay, the company is very much reliant on Yayasan, and will this pose, okay, on the risk management for Yayasan Peneraju, we also actually look into the concern of this. And if you can read from our financial display, on year 2021 to 2024, we do actually have this statistic where 2021, we have 11 million of contribution revenue, where comprises of 69%, that means 70, just round it up. However, when you look at 2024, the revenue has increased almost to 15 million, but on the entire percentage, it has actually brought to a smaller percentage. So that means we have accumulated amount of revenue increase, the proportion of dependency has decreased. All right. So by having said this, this is actually a more positive performance, because we have actually siphoned the one customer reliance based on our scenario that we have actually delivered. So I no need to tell you what's next, but you can look at the trend of the history. Yeah. So on the next question, beyond cybersecurity, is there any other plan to introduce the new training program? So of course, I think where there is customer need, then we will come in to make the business to look better. You see, when the whole world is talking about AI, cybersecurity, I guess that's where we are heading to. Nothing will go wrong because not just Malaysia, but the entire Southeast Asia and globally is speaking about AI, cybersecurity related. Yes, there will be plan. Whenever there's demand, there is the opportunity goes.
But I don't want to give the public perception that we only do cybersecurity. The cybersecurity is maybe that is more on our cyber range laboratory labs here. Traditionally, I think for the past 4 or 5 years, we in fact started with big data program. Big data program because at that point in time, AI, what they call IR 4.0, Industrial Revolution 4.0. So we do quite a fair bit on cyber, what we call big data. We do also cybersecurity and also cloud computing as well. I think these are the top 3 program that we currently running what they call a lot lah. Okay.
And if we can also categorize them, right, it's more relevant if we say digital literacy, because inside digital literacy there are plenty of them. So cybersecurity is only one out of maybe 50, or you know, the number goes increases.
Right. So the next question is actually any closest competitor in this industry here. Coincidentally, when we started this whole due diligence here, our market researcher came in to do market research. In fact, we couldn't find one competitor that is doing what we are doing. I mean, our 6D development framework, which we have discovery, then after that we design, then after that we develop you, then we deploy you, and then after that we digitize all the content and we digitalize all your learning insight here. We can't even find one that is actually our competitor. But if you actually split them out, just talk about development itself, which is actually training. I guess the statistic from HRD report that there's about 2,500 training company. But for us, we don't call ourselves training company, but we are more people development solution provider here. And what they call in terms of closest of competition, again, the closest that you can actually find on training, there are a couple of them, but we compare in terms of size, in terms of revenue, I suppose we are still leading. All right. Okay, the next question.
Who is our cybersecurity partner? I will just mention one. EC Council is our cybersecurity partners. And EC Council is a prominent brand.
What strategy does PEOPLElogy have in place to ensure long-term security industry retention? Oh, this is a very good question here. Again, 2 years ago, we have actually opened up another new income stream, which is actually more on the B2 consumer market here. B2 consumer market is something that we actually can control. We have our own intellectual property. We have our own what I call program. So just now, like the statistic, we have shown that there's actually a significant improvement on the B2C. And B2B, as much as we do not wish to actually depending on them, but we are still very, very hopeful that this B2G is keep on coming in. I think due to the market demand, due to the government is actually very supportive on the digital workforce transformation. And B2B, obviously, if you look at B2B, our B2B client is on the uptrend right now. And because why? B2B, they are in a rush to actually upskill and reskill all their workforce on digital platforms. Right. So I guess our diversification is on track. I think our diversification will actually reduce our dependability onto one market. Right. People who has been trained by a company, would they receive any certificate? Yes. What kind of certificates? Okay. Anybody? Yeah.
Okay. So whoever that attend courses, so you will be receiving certificate, of course, that's like certificate of attendance. And on top of that, speaking on what you call recognized professional certification, that requires you to go through examinations. And yes, we do have an examination center in our place as well. And once you pass the exam, you get the endorsed certification from the respective body that you take. Let's say if Microsoft, let's say it's AWS. So the answer is yes, and yeah. So the next one, given the increasing role of AI across industry, especially in HR and decision making, how is PEOPLElogy position itself in the space? Are there specific AI driven in the pipeline that investors should be excited about? AI driven initiative. I think we keep it open for this. Of course, AI driven initiative is something that we are working on it, and we have also made declaration on certain portion of it. It's still on the building pipeline.
So the next question is, Ramso considered one of your peers, given that the company is also offering HRMS solution here. I would like to actually make a statement here. We don't do HR management software. We don't do HR management solution here. We are a lot more on learning and development here. And some people call us LMS, but we call ourselves, we are actually the, what they call, PEOPLELib. PEOPLELib means our learning augmented, essential augmented platform here, which very different from HRMS here. Okay, but nonetheless, I think if you look at Ramso is also a company that is good benchmark for us to actually learn, because I think they have actually innovated. We are also, we have our 6D that we are very proud. Okay, and I think I'll probably leave it to the gentleman to see whether are we really Ramso alike or not. Okay. Your main revenue 90% is people training. Though you have 60. You are right. Okay, because in the past we do not have our actually digital division. That is actually making revenue, but we lump everything into the development segment. So that's why you can see that the development segment is huge in terms of contribution. But in this year onward, we are going to actually what I call diversify. We're going to actually park out all our revenue, which related to discovery. We will actually go into discovery. If digital, we will go into the digital. All right. Can I say you are the biggest training company among HR here? Probably there's actually 3-4 indicator how to claim that it's actually the biggest training company. First and foremost, I suppose, is revenue. I guess based on our 30 million, 29+ million here, we are considered the top one. All right. Number 2 is based on the number of employee. We have currently about 103. As far as I know, maybe what we call the training company, probably their size is about 20-30. Okay. The third one is actually about number of training location. I think at this moment we have actually 4 locations. As far as I know, most of the training company, they have 1 or maybe 2. I guess that's the only comment I can mention. Do you see your company position in the next 10 years? Where would you see? Okay, all right, great. I guess we, in a way, has built a vision that we will love to become one of the largest people development solution providers in Southeast Asia. So that is actually our plan for the next 5 years. Right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Alan. I think I think those are the questions that we have for the night. I think it's a good blend of questions. I think which very frank answers from Alan and team. I think which is good. Yes, I think as you all know, I think from what I gather in the sense that PEOPLElogy is the market leader, the first to be listed on Bursa. A very unique proposition. People development, which have the 6D. Like I mentioned, they are the largest, and also the rest of them, other companies could be just one-dimensional, just people training. So I think people just evolve. So yep, I think exciting times ahead. We shall see how things pans out. Could you share a bit more on your aspirations basis, so-called? I think your question about 10 years, maybe, what are shorter goals or aspiration, main board, what else? Market cap, aspirations, Talent.
Of course, I am in a way very blessed that I do have a few mentors that also own a public listed company, and their pathway is always second board, then go to main board, and they have shown to me that actually that's supposed the spirit that an entrepreneur should have. And currently, I'm in Ace market here. There is actually market cap about 103 million here. And let us actually aim to make this company even bigger company. Right. Let's target whether the next 3 years we are able to actually go into Southeast Asia with the aim that every country do have a PEOPLElogy, and I let the what I call investors to value us. How much is our market cap, right? Okay. And maybe the last two questions, could you clarify that maintain a 60% dividend pre-listing as but has no any dividend after listing? Just bear with us a little bit, because this is our first year of listing. There's a lot of learning curve for us here, and I am very sure that just give us 1 year, we are able to actually formulate actually a strategy how to formulate a dividend payout. Okay. Targeted CAG, okay, compounded annual growth rate, okay, that's working towards the next 3 years. Traditionally, for the past 4 years, we have actually achieved a 20%, okay, 21. In fact, we believe that with this IPO status, together with the brandings that we have, because we are listed, we are able to achieve much better than 21%. Okay, but yet I think let us be conservative that we are looking at 25 to 30%, right?
Great to hear that. I think 25, 30% is a very good number to begin with. Okay, I think let's see, do we have any more questions? Okay, we have one question. Was FY24 your best earnings year?
2024, supposedly if we did not minus off the one-off expenses, we should actually achieve 6.2 million PAT. But due to this one-off, our number went down to 5.4, right? Okay. And is it the best? I think 2023 we have 5.7.
So the 25% will be based on adjusted 6.6 million plus 25%, right? The CHR, I think, or is it based on the adjusted?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually based on a 5.5 lah. Yeah.
5.5 lah. Okay. Okay, still very decent growth. Good to hear that. So very confident on these plans, and also I think one of the first to be listed. I think that is a testament of the quality that they have. That's why they are able to get approval for listing. Okay, I think anything. I think there's another question that came up. Okay, no more questions. Okay. Any overview wrap up before we call it a night, Mr. Allen?
Maybe just my personal point of view here. Of course, I am the MD. I am the founder who actually started this company 24 years ago. I would like to actually urge the retail investors here. This is not just an investment. This is actually an investment for the future of work here. So I would love everybody that participate in this investment. And if you can, just look at a little bit longer term, because this is actually for the future of works. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, you hear it? Yes, the IPO process is going. You can either submit the IPO application, or you can even buy on the opening day itself. Yeah, so either way. Okay, looking forward to the big day, Alan, and your
Thank
team.
you, Vincent. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you.